It couldn't be clearer that Super Mario Bros. Wonder easily outperformed Spider-Man 2. Super Mario Bros. Wonder had more innovative ideas. It was a better game in general. It had way more content, way more interesting mechanics. It was a real evolution of 2D Mario. Whereas Spider-Man was just a rehash of a tired 60s IP. Right. A completely just brain dead recreation of what we've gotten before hundreds of times over. Not even with the same character, honestly. Again, I've always said this about Spider-Man 2 in particular, but what does this game do better than the Arkham games? And like the Arkham games weren't good either. Let me throw that out there right now. But like, uh, in the simplest possible terms, what does the Spider-Man PS4 series do better than Arkham? The reality is nothing, right? Spider-Man is just a mishandled character in a game that just never really manages to grow or evolve in any meaningful way. Like, what is with Mary Jane being a Lois Lane ripoff? Like, what is with this black sidekick character? I can't remember his name. Like, I can't even remember his like superhero name. Like, what is his name? He's that guy who like likes role playing as Spider-Man, even though nobody knows. Everybody knows he's not Spider-Man. I can't remember his name. But anyway, like that guy like exists. Like he's a primary character in this, but like, does anyone care about him or his family or like what he's going through? No. Like when people play a Spider-Man game, they want to play as Spider-Man. They want to play as Peter, right? They want to see like, something cool or interesting utilizing the Spider-Man IP. And yet they simply can't do it, right? Spider-Man has been a stagnant brand for a very, 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 very long time. To the point where like I really wonder why anybody really cares about this character or this Marvel at all, because it all just comes down to the same thing. Just beat the bad guys, nothing changes, and then the bad guys come back and you have to beat them again. Like, there's no nuance to it, there's no character growth, there's no development. Like, what it all amounts to is the same thing over and over and over and over and over and over again, is just an inability to develop the characters in an interesting, organic way, right? Manga far outstrips Spider-Man in this regard. Like One Piece has been running since 1997, and what does that have? Right, much more nuanced characters, a much more fleshed out world, a more interesting setting. Right, the world of One Piece is bigger than the characters in a lot of ways. Right, the world does not revolve around Monkey D. Luffy and like what the Straw Hats are doing. Right, to the point where like honestly, sometimes it feels like the Straw Hats are shouldn't be the focus and what's actually going on. But anyway, like One Piece is just a spectacularly put together story that has outstripped Spider-Man in relevancy a long time ago. It's bigger than Batman now, and now it's on its way to outpacing Superman, right? And it will manage that before the end of its run. But like, I would much rather play like One Piece Odyssey or like Pirate Warriors 4 or like, anything One Piece related than like ever consider picking up Spider-Man. Like, what does Spider-Man do that would make me go out and play the game, right? Like, why was this game supposedly the best game ever made for like the month it came out in October 2023, right? Like, why was this game, supposedly like the big game of the year contender for that year, right? Ahead of Hogwarts Legacy, ahead of Starfield, ahead of like Zelda and Mario. Like, why was it like pushed to that extent? It was a PlayStation IP. Like, when you take that away from it, when you take the Spider-Man license out of it, the game really has nothing going for it. When you compare that to Super Mario Bros. Wonder, which was bright, colorful, innovative, really understood what made 2D Mario games great, and really doubled down on it. It is, in my opinion, and this is just my opinion. I'm sure like a lot of people disagree with me on this, but like I think Super Mario Bros. Wonder is by far the best 2D platformer ever made. Right? It mixes challenge and innovative game design in a way that I've never really seen before. Exploring each level thoroughly and like finding all the purple coins and finding all of the wonder seeds is an amazing experience. And if you're playing with people, right, if you miss the wonder scene, the level is a radically playing through the level is a radically different experience, right? So even playing through the same level over and over and over again may not necessarily yield you the same results because like there are all these different paths you can take and all these things you can do, right? There is so much going on in Mario Wonder, it will essentially keep you playing forever. I can confirm, having come back to it after a year of not playing it, right? I 100% in the game in October and I come back as of this month. Now that I'm playing through Mario Wonder again, I can tell you that this game truly is the best there is at what it does, right? It is a phenomenally well put together, well executed 2D platformer. And no, this needs to be said more and more in 2024, but it really is true. 2D platformers are not a lesser genre than 3D open world games. They are not a lesser genre than fighting games or first person shooters or MMORPGs or strategy games or anything. Like 2D platformers are an extremely popular, extremely successful genre of games that people need to learn to respect. If Mario Wonder taught us anything, is that there is a very real bias against 2D platformers in the gaming space. Unless it's something like Cuphead or Hollow Knight, something that's safe to like. Mario Wonder was disregarded by most people the instant it was shown off. And I think that's a big reason why the game isn't rightfully considered game of the year 2023 because like so many people like wrote it off simply for being a 2D platformer. But the reality is, yeah, Super Mario Bros. Wonder, it is better than Spider-Man 2. It is better than Baldur's Gate 3. It is better than Starfield and The Legend of Zelda Tears of the Kingdom and Alan Wake 2 and Final Fantasy 16 and everything else that came out that year, right? Like Mario Wonder was an extremely popular, successful thing that deserves a lot more respect. The way it looks now, with its lackluster sales numbers, even with its drop off in interest, even with its like rehashing nature, people seem to have this weird worship of Spider-Man 2 just because it's a Marvel property on PlayStation. This is completely unacceptable.